Okay, hello everyone. Good morning, all of you. So we'll start with today's quote. It is by Richard Branson. So he says, "Courage is what it takes to stand up and speak, and courage is also what it takes to sit down and listen." So, you need courage to live, and even you need courage to die. In the same way, you need courage to stand up and speak, and also courage to sit down and listen. You may feel it is funny why it says like that. Listen is different from hearing. Listening is taking into heart whatever you hear. Then only you say you are listening. Okay, so the first one everybody knows. Because of that, actually, people don't come up and speak. Okay, so because it needs courage, and courage comes from confidence and hard work and all these things. Okay, and today is the birthday of George Gamow, and I love him actually. He's a physicist. He has written great books, very interesting books on physics. So he is a Russian born American nuclear physicist, cosmologist, and writer who was one of the foremost advocates of the Big Bang Theory, which describes the origin of the universe as a colossal explosion that took place billions of years ago. In 1954, he expanded his interest into biochemistry, and his work on DNA made a basic contribution to modern genetic theory. And he has written excellent books. Right? If you come across, don't just leave it. He has written books like 1, 2, 3 Infinity, Mr. Tompkinson Paperback, and Physics, and some books on nuclear things and all. And the basic books, like all these three books which I have written here, they are fantastic books. So interesting. And he is the first person, I think, who made physics popular, right? You need not know anything if you want to understand about quantum mechanics, relativity, which are so complicated theories. So you just go through this Mr. Tompkinson paperback. He has given like funny stories, the presentation of physics through funny stories. It's fantastic book actually. Okay, and today we will continue of yesterday's class, radial equilibrium, and okay, so in the last class, we have seen how to design at mean radius. This is also called as pitch line design. So using the specifications, so we have to design at mean radius. So we have taken up a problem where u is given, u at mean radius, right, and CA is given, and delta T naught is given, lambda is given, I think, and R is given. So what we have done is because W is equal to Cp delta T naught, which is also equal to lambda UMCA into tan beta 1 minus tan beta 2. So this has given us tan beta 1 minus tan beta 2. And because R is equal to Ca by 2U into tan beta 1 plus tan beta 2. So we got tan beta 1 plus tan beta 2. So these two are solved. Solving, we get beta 1 and beta 2. And then we have 1 by phi or u by Ca is tan alpha 1 minus tan alpha 1 plus tan beta 1. This is also equal to tan alpha 2 plus tan beta 2. Okay, knowing UCA, we know 1 by 5, and knowing beta 1, I can get alpha 1, and knowing beta 2, I can get alpha 2. So we'll know alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1, beta 2, and we know CA and U also. So from this, we can find out all the components and velocities. So CW1 is CA tan alpha 1, CW2, CA tan alpha 2, VW1, CA tan beta 1, and VW2, CA tan beta 2. So as I told, because as R is equal to 0.5, we will get alpha 1 equal to beta 2 and alpha 2 equal to beta 1, and CW1 equal to VW2 and CW2 equal to VW. And also we can get in another way, VW1 is equal to U minus CW1 and VW2. Any way you can do it, U minus CW2. Right? Because U is sum of CW1 and VW1 and also sum of CW2 and VW2. So in this way you can find out, and if you want C1 and C2, B1, B2 and all, okay, C1 is root of CS square plus CW1 square, C2 is equal to root of CS square plus CW2 square, and B1 is equal to root of CS square plus VW1 square, B2 is equal to root of CS square plus VW2 square. And because R is equal to 0.5, you are going to get C1 equal to V2 and C2 equal to V1. Okay, whether it is R is equal to 0.5 or not, these relations are hold good. Okay, so that's why I have given those relations. In this way, we can get everything at mean line. And then we have to go for what is called as 3D flow. So design at any other radius. So for this, we have discussed about radial equilibrium theory. So by balancing pressure and inertia means centripetal force here. So we got d1 by rho dp by dr is equal to cw square by r. This we called it as radial equilibrium equation. Okay, then we have taken like h naught is equal to h plus c square by 2, which is h plus cs square by 2 plus cw square by 2, and so dh naught by dr is equal to dh by dr plus ca dca by dr plus cw dcw. So this is one relation we got, and another we got from TDS relation, dh minus dp by rho. So we got from here okay, so these things we got, and then we substitute dh by dr from here, and we substitute radial equilibrium equation in this. So we got actually dh naught by dr is equal to t ds by dr plus ca dca by dr plus cw dcw by dr plus cw square by r. Okay, this is the way we got, and assuming no shock or friction, so we can eliminate this to 0, and we result what is called a vortex energy equation, which is dh naught by dr is equal to ca dca by dr plus CW dCW by dr plus CW square by r. This is the vortex energy equation. And usually for all the designs, we assume constant specific work input. Means dH naught by dr equal to 0 because W is equal to dH naught. This is specific work. Okay, so with that we are going to get CA dCA by dr plus CW dCW by dr plus CW square by r equal to 0. Okay, this is the relation which is to be used. Relates variation of CA and CW with respect to R. So assuming some variation for CA, we get variation of CW and vice versa. So if you assume some variation for CW with respect to R, you are going to get the variation of CA with respect to R. Like that, we can have various designs. So the first design is we assume CA to be constant with respect to R. So means dCA by dr is equal to 0. Okay, here you understand, right? We have already assumed at mean line CA1 equal to CA2 at mean radius. So now we are assuming CA to be constant along the length of the blade. So CA is constant throughout. Okay. So along the length and also along the flow direction. Okay, along the height of the blade and also along the flow direction of the blade, the CA is assumed to be constant. So now if I take dA, CA dCA by dr plus CW dCW by dr plus CW square by r equal to 0. So this is 0 assumed to be. So out of this, one CW gets cancelled. So we are going to get dCW by CW plus dr by r equal to 0. And integrating, we get RCW is equal to constant. And this is called, because this is free vortex, this is called as free vortex design. Okay, so this is the simplest design, very, very simple. And we have seen how to calculate those things. So if you come to the problem, so what we have got is, we have got mean, hub, and T. And if I take a variable here, okay, so U is given to be 200, 150, 250, and CA is given 150, 150, 150, and CW1 and CW2 we have calculated here. What are the values here? 46 or something, right?
Yes, sir. CW.
254.
And this one 254. What is it?
150.
154. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 154. Like this, we got at mean radius. To get at hub and tip, because RCW is constant, RCW is RM CWM. Okay, so we want CW at other radius. So CW is equal to CWM into RM by R. And because U is proportional to R, we can write this as CWM into UM by U. So if I want CW1H, it is CW1M into um by uh. And CW2H is CW2M by uh. If I want tip, just UH is to be replaced by UTIP. So can anybody tell me the values of CW1 and VW1, CW2 and hub and tip?
For hub, it is 61.33, sir, CW1.
Okay.
And tip is 36.8.
36, huh?
Yes, sir, 36.8.
Okay.
Sir, no, sir. For CW1, tip is 36.8, sir.
Okay, okay. Okay, yes.
CW1 hub, okay, 36,
And here?
61.33, sir.
Okay.
CW2 hub is 205.33.
Okay.
And for tip, 123.2.
So the other people, do they agree with these values?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So CW1, CW2 we got. And so we can get VW1, VW2. VW1 is equal to U minus CW1. And VW2 is U minus CW2. Okay. Can you tell me the values?
154, sir, VW1 mean 154.
Here? Yeah, CW2 equal to VW1. So this is 154 and this is 46.
Yes, sir. And for hub, 88.67.
88.67.
And tip is 213.2.
Yeah.
VW2 hub is minus 55.33.
Yeah.
And tip is 126.8.
Okay, like this. So if you see actually R is equal to VW1 plus VW2 by 2U. Okay. So this is already 0.5.
And for hub is 0.113.
Yeah.
And for tip is 0.68.
Okay. So this is the way we get. Okay, we can get the other values, all the angles and everything. Okay, the main thing I wanted to talk about is the reaction. And if you see the reaction, as I think yesterday we have done it. So reaction is equal to either VW1 plus VW2 by 2U we write, or I can write 1 minus CW1 plus CW2 by 2U. Because VW1 is U minus CW1, VW2 is U minus CW2. If you substitute, you are going to get like this. Okay, and if I multiply this by R, so 1 minus RCW1 plus RCW2 by 2UR. And RCW1 is constant, some K1. RCW2 is some constant K2 because RCW is constant. And U is equal to, because U is proportional to R, AMR by RM. Okay. So if I substitute that here, 1 minus some constant by 2 r square by RM. Okay, is constant, RM is constant. So this will be some 1 minus, okay, this I will put like this, K by R square. In this way you will get. Okay, so reaction is equal to 1 minus some constant by R square. So if you see here, as R increase, okay, so if R increase, R square will be more and K by R square will be less, and 1 minus less is more. Okay, so as R increase, as radius increase, reaction increase. Similarly, as radius decrease, reaction decrease. So I will have minimum reaction at hub. Okay, so you can see that in the previous one. So reaction is small at 0.113 and high at 0.68. Okay, this is okay. But what happens is, as the blade height increase, okay, R at hub decrease and may become negative. Okay. Okay, R is negative means so delta R is delta H of rotor by delta H of stays. Okay. So it is to be diffusion, right? So diffusion means velocity should decrease and enthalpy should increase. But here, what happens? Enthalpy will decrease. Enthalpy will decrease means it acts like a turbine. That portion, instead of diffusing, it accelerates. Okay, so in the part from hub to tip, wherever the reaction becomes negative, means that portion, instead of diffusing or compressing, it expands. So, which is completely against my requirement. So that is the problem. So we have to see that. So free vortex design. This is not only this is one of the thing. Okay, so one is R may become negative for long blades. Okay, and actually you can see the later you can see a graph. Variation of angles is very high from up to tip, which results in highly twisted blades. So this is another disadvantage. But the advantage, very simple to calculate. Right? So the designing everything is very simple, but these are the difficulties we get. Okay, so in the latter stages, we can use the free vortex design, but the initial stages, wherever the blade's height is very long, okay, so then this may give problems. So we have to check it, right? If it works, okay, you can provide it, or you have to go for alternative design. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So you should be in a position to be designing once you have the mean design, right? Design at the mean radius. Using free vortex design, it is very easy. You have seen that all of the things can be calculated once you know at the mean. Okay, using free vortex design, just RCW1 equal to constant and RCW2 equal to constant. So you find out what's CW1 and CW2. So once you get that, U minus CW1, U minus VW1 will give you VW1 and VW2. Okay, once you get CW1, VW1, CW2, VW2, then you can get alpha 1 and all those things. Okay. So we can get alpha 1 is equal to tan inverse CW1 by CA, alpha 2 is equal to tan inverse CW2 by CA, and beta 1 is equal to tan inverse VW1 by CA, and beta 2 is equal to tan inverse VW2 by CA. And you can also get, as I told you, C1 is equal to root of CA square plus CW1 square. C2 is equal to root of CA square plus CW2 square. And V1 is so like this you can find out, and also you can find out the phi CA by U, and also you can get psi W by U square, or W is equal W, and W also you can calculate. W, if you calculate, U CA into tan beta 1 minus tan beta 2. So you should get same at hub, mean, and tip. Have you tried this? Anybody have you calculated?
Yes, sir. Psi 21.6, sir.
Yeah. So did you get the same values?
Yes, sir. for
Yeah.
mean hub and tip.
Yeah, so that is because that is the basic assumption we have taken when you started designing free vortex, right? So that is it. And so we have to see what are the alternative designs. Okay, and so here also in the alternate designs also the first assumption will be same. That is dh naught is equal to dh naught by dr is equal to constant, or w is equal to constant with respect to radius. Okay, so that is W is equal to U into CW2 minus CW1. So I have to assume some will distribution in such a way that this happens. Okay, so this is the way it is assumed. CW1 is equal to, and out of CW1 and CW2, which is large? Because we are giving work, C increase across the rotor. C increase across rotor means CW2 will be more and CW1 will be less. Okay, so CW1, it is taken to be AX power n minus B by X, and CW2 is equal to AX power n plus B by X, where X is R by R. Okay, some notation I am using different because in the textbook for reaction, we are using R, and he is using lambda. This is capital lambda. He is using reaction for this symbol. And here R by Rm, he has taken to be capital R. But we are using reaction as capital R. So that's why we take some different notation. But you should not get confused when you refer the book, because we are following Sarvanamuthu. You should not get confused when you refer the book. Okay, one or two notations will be different because standard notation is reaction R. I am using that, but in this book he has used this particular. This is called capital lambda. Okay, so that is used. Okay, X is equal to R by Rm, and I am using this. Okay, because it is a function of R. This X is nothing but okay, the function of R. Okay, this is the way this particular distribution is assumed for CW. Okay, with respect to R, CW1 varies like this, CW2 varies like this. Okay, so why I have taken like this is if I take W, U into CW2 minus CW1, AX power n gets cancelled, I will get 2B by X. And we know that U is equal to UM R by Rm. R by Rm is X, so this is UMX. So if I substitute here UMX into 2B by X, this goes off. This is 2B UM. And B is constant, UM is constant, so this is constant. So this assumption, W is constant with respect to R, is valid. So this distribution is one of the valid distribution which satisfies that assumption. So using this distribution, I have to find out how CA varies. And how CA varies. So the variation of CA and CW are related by that radial equilibrium equation, which is CA dCA by dr plus CW dCW by dr plus CW square by r equal to 0. Okay, this is the way they are related. Now using this CW variation, I have to find out CA variation. So I have to integrate this with respect to R, okay, from 1 to X. Okay, that is X is equal to 1 to X. X equal to 1 means r equal to rm. So mean radius to any other radius. We take the limits like that. So integral CA dCA by dr 1 to x plus integral 1 to x CW dCW by dr plus integral 1 to x CW square by r dr. Okay, so here integration of this is nothing but CA square by 2 1 to x, and integration of this is CW square by 2 1 to x plus integral of this. So here what I do is divide this by rm, divide this by rm. So we are going to get integral CW square by x dx 1 to x is equal to 0. Okay, this is the way. So if I write it like this, minus CA square by 2 1 to x is equal to CW square by 2 1 to x plus integral CW square by x dx 1 to x. Okay, CW distribution, if you use inlet AR, because CW1 is a x power n minus b by x, CW2 is a x power n plus b by x. So if you substitute this, I will get the variation at inlet. If you substitute this, I am going to get the variation at exit. Okay, so I have to take some value for n. Okay, so different designs are there. If n equal to minus 1, suppose. So if n equal to minus 1, what is CW1? A x power minus 1 means a by x minus b by x, which is a minus b by x. And CW2 is a by x minus b by x, means a minus b by x. Okay, that is actually x CW1 is equal to constant, x CW2 is constant. X is nothing but r by rm. Means this results in CW1 is equal to constant, RCW1 equal to constant, RCW2 is equal to constant. So which is nothing but free vortex design. So if I assume n equal to minus 1 in the distribution, this becomes free vortex design. Am I clear about this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we will see some other alternatives, right? So n equal to 1. So this is called as actually first power design. So if n equal to 1, CW1 is ax power n means ax minus b by x. CW2 is equal to ax plus b by x. This is the way we get. So these distributions I have to substitute. So minus 1 by 2 CA square 1 to x is equal to CW square 1 to x. Okay, this is the way we got. Suppose if I take exit, at exit, half into CW2 is ax plus b by x whole square one to x plus integral CWax plus b by x whole square 1 by x dx. This is the way we get. So half into, if I expand this, a square x square plus 2ab plus b square by x square 1 to x plus integral, if I expand this, a square x plus 2ab by x plus b square by x cube dx. And if I substitute these limits here, 1 by 2 into a square x square plus 2ab plus b square by x square by substituting the limit to x, and minus substituting the limit 1, a square plus 2ab plus b square, like this. Plus I have to integrate this. Integrating what will I get? A square x square by 2 plus 2ab log x b square by x cube, that is x power minus 3 plus 1 means minus 2, so I will get minus 2 b square by x square 1 to x b square by x square. Okay, so substitute these limits 1 to x here, and then you can simplify. So I am not doing all that. So you can just, by simplifying, what is that we get, I will show you in the slide. T-vortex design. Okay, this is problem 5.1, which we have done the last class. So this is the thing we have done. Let's see. So other designs. So CW1 is this, CW2 is this, and U into this is 2B UN, so which is constant. And so if n equal to -1, a minus b by x and a plus b by x, like that we will get. And this is a free vortex design. And if you take n equal to 1, which is first power design, this is ax minus b by x plus ax plus b by x. And if I take this and if I integrate this, so we are going to get this particular one. And if you simplify, this is the way we get CA2 square minus CA2 mean square. 1 means x equal to 1 means mean. Okay. So CA2 square plus CA2 mean square is equal to minus 2 into, by substituting the limits and simplifying, you are going to get a square x square plus 2ab log x minus a square. This is the exit. And for inlet also you can calculate, and you are going to get this relation. Okay, this is the way we get the relation for CA. And you remember, right? In free vortex design, and there CA is constant, but here CA is varying. Okay, and the reaction, this is important. Reaction we have calculated, got this as CA by 2U into tan beta 1 plus tan beta 2 at mean radius. This we got assuming CA is constant. That is CA1 equal to CA2. Assuming this, we got this expression. But at hub and tip, or at the mean also, if CA is varying, so R is to be derived. The reaction is not this relation, like which is VW1 plus VW2 by 2U. So all these expressions like 1 minus CW1 plus CW2 by 2U, right? All these expressions are for CA equal to constant from inlet to exit. But now from inlet to exit, CA will be varying, okay, at hub and tip. So I have to derive the expression for R from the fundamental principles. So R is equal to delta H of rotor by delta H of rotor plus delta H of stator. Okay, and so what I have to do is, okay, this is nothing but anyhow the work done. But when you come to delta H of rotor, okay, I have to use the first law of thermodynamics. So delta Q is equal to dH plus d of ke plus d of p plus delta w. Okay, delta q is 0, d of p is 0. So dh, so across rotor, dh across rotor is equal to d of ke across rotor is c2 square minus c1 square by 2. That is the change in kinetic energy plus the work done. Work done is nothing but uCA into RU into CW1, CW2 minus CW. Okay, so this is to be simplified. C2 square minus C1 square means, okay, here I have to take the right side. Actually, this is because this will become, okay, this plus is equal to 0. Like this I have to write. And then dH of rotor is equal to C1 square minus C2 square by 2 is U into CW2 minus CW. And this is to be written as CA1 square minus CA2 square by 2 plus CW1 square minus CW2 square by 2 plus U into CW2 minus CW1. Okay, this is to be written as dH of rotor. Okay, reaction is dH of rotor by the work done. Okay, so all this by U into CW2 minus CW1. So I will get something like 1 plus CA1 square minus CA2 square by U into CW2 minus CW1 plus, if you come to this, 1 by 2U, CW2 minus CW1 gets cancelled. I will get some CW1 plus CW2. Like this I will get. Okay, so this relation I have to use whenever CA is varying. This is the actual relation for reaction. So if reaction, I think I'm going to get some minus here, just you check it. So here if CA1 equal to CA2, if CA1 equal to CA2, I am going to get 1 minus CW1 plus CW2 by 2U. So we get the relation which we have written in the previous page. This one you will get. Okay, so here I have to substitute. So this is the way you get. Okay, 1 plus CA1 square minus CA2 square by 2U into CW2 minus CW1 minus CW1 plus CW2 by 2U. Okay. So CA1 square minus CU2 square, I have to use this relation. I have this one relation. This is one relation for exit and inlet. So if I want CA1 square minus CU2 square, subtract from this to here. So I'm going to get this one, 8AB log R. And CW2 minus CW1, because already we have assumed this. Okay, CW2 minus CW1. What is that you will get? AR gets cancelled. I'm going to get 2B by R. So that 2B by R, here I will get. And CW2 plus CW1, CW2 plus CW1, if I add, B by R gets cancelled. I'm going to get 2A by R. 2AR, okay. So this is the way I get. So these things I have to substitute in reaction in this relation. So I will get the variation for reaction is like this. Okay, this is for first power design. Okay, the same way we have to do for, and okay, here there is significance for the constants A and B. Okay, here if you see, remember, we have calculated this U into CW2 minus CW1 is 2B right? So here B is nothing but, because this is constant and is constant, so B is a constant like that. So B, the significance of B is the work done by 2 work done by 2 will give you the B. Okay, the constant B can be obtained from this relation. Similarly, the constant A also can be obtained. Okay, the significance of constants A and B. So this is A is equal to into 1 minus Rm. And from the work done, okay, this is the already B is that. And yeah, A is UM into 1 minus R by Rm in the reaction at R equal to 1. If you take R equal to 1, this becomes 0, right? R equal to 1 means mean radius. So at mean radius, Rm is equal to 1 minus A by Um. So I can get the value of A. So A is nothing but Um into 1 minus Rm. And B already work done by 2 This is the way I can get the values of the constants A and B once you design at mean radius. Okay. And now if you take n equal to 0, which is exponential design, which is called as exponential design. So x equal to or n equal to 0 means A x power 0 means A minus B by R, A plus B by R. And you repeat the similar calculation for this and you are going to get reaction this. Okay, so you can get a tabulation. So for n equal to -1, 0 and 1, we got the reactions in this way. These are the relations. So this is free vortex, this is exponential and first power. And if you draw the variation of reaction for all the three designs, we are going to get this way. So this is for -1, that is free vortex design. And this is for exponential design. And this is for first power design. Okay, so and similarly, if you see the variation of angles, alpha 1, sorry, this is, okay, degree of reaction and R by RT. And so for different values of reaction at the mean, you'll go 0.6, 0.7, 0.8 if you take like that. So the variation of the reaction from hub to tip, it will be like this. Okay. So what it wants to show is how the reaction varies a lot from hub to tip, and at hub you are going to get a negative value. Okay, this is explained here. This is from the textbook only. Okay. And next thing what we want to do is the complete design process, how it takes place. Okay, so once we have some specifications, okay, what are the things I have to calculate in sequence? Okay, this is one of the beautiful problem that is done in Saranmuthu. So you will not get such problem, that real world problem that is solved. Okay, some 7-stage axial flow compressor is designed stage by stage. Okay, so that you will understand how the actual design will be taken. Okay, so there are different steps. Okay, you can take it as an algorithm, right? So first, choice of rotational speed and annulus dimensions. I have to calculate the annulus dimensions, the size from the inlet to exit, from the first stage to last stage, how the annulus dimensions vary. Okay. And there are various types of designs. Okay, this is also I want to take. Okay. Okay, so here the length of the blade decrease from inlet to exit. Initially, the annulus area will be more because it is not compressed at low density and low pressure. So it will take large area. And as it is compressed, actually at the exit when it comes, the annulus area gets reduced and the blade height also gets reduced. Am I clear about it?
Yes, sir.
So there are various types of designs. You can take hub radius constant and tip radius can be reduced like this. Okay, stage to stage. And this is one way. Or sometimes you can keep the tip radius constant and hub radius increasing like this, so that this annulus area decreases. Because annulus area should decrease from inlet to exit. Or sometimes the mean radius will remain constant and hub radius increase, tip radius decrease like this. Okay, this is the blade height at the inlet and this is the blade height at the exit. Okay, this is the axis. Am I clear? These are the different designs. This is called as drum type and this is called as disc type. Okay, and okay, this is not having any other name, so this is actually constant mean radius design. This is constant hub radius and this is constant tip radius. Okay, these are the various designs, and this particular problem we have used constant mean radius design. Okay, so then after that, first I have to calculate the annulus dimensions. Then we have to determine the number of stages required using an assumed efficiency. Assume some efficiency and calculate the number of stages that are required. And once you know that, we have to do the pitch line design first. Calculate the air angles for each stage at the mean radius. First, all the stages you calculate at the mean radius. And then for each stage, we have to calculate how the angles vary from root to tip or hub to tip. Then investigation of compressibility effect. Compressibility effect means whether anywhere it is Mach number is going beyond 1 or whether there is any possibility for shock and whether IGV is needed or not. All those things are to be checked. And then once you complete that, then I have to choose the blading. Okay, selection of compressor blading using experimentally obtained cascade data. So we will have, because we got the inlet angle and exit angle, and I have to check various blades or cascade data, which are experiments are done. Some millions of experiments are being done and cascade data are developed. So I have to choose which type of blade profile is useful for my design. Okay, so once then you have to choose the profile, and once you choose the profile, I have to find out off design performance. That is, if it is running at different other speeds or other things like that, other than design point, how it is performing. Then I have to do rig testing. Okay, testing is to be done. Okay, this is the various steps for a complete design process. So next class, we will take up a problem and we will see how to go about that. Any questions? Okay, if there are no questions, we will go for the story. Yeah. So it is about another great personality, Oprah Winfrey. I don't know whether you came across the name and all, and she is a great anchor in US. Okay, so the main thing is she is a black girl from very poor family, and during childhood she suffered a lot. She is abused a lot, and so much suffering was done. But now she is one of the millionaire. Okay, and okay, Oprah Winfrey is a well-known talk show personality, entertainment mogul, and advocate for the abused. She is a prominent alpha female in every right. She is intelligent and articulate, and she is always well-groomed, with her well-kept hair and pearly whites. Who would have thought that she came from rags? Oprah's mother was a housekeeper. In her teens, she got pregnant and brought Oprah's real name, according to her birth certificate. And so she brought Oprah alone into the world. However, due to the necessity of working, she left the baby girl with her mother. So she was not looked after by her mother. So she was with grandmother only. So the trying life of Oprah Winfrey began here, and she spent the first 6 years of her life with her grandmother. They went to church regularly. Her grandmother taught her to read and asked her to recite Bible verses, which she did, and so articulately that she was nicknamed Miss Preacher. Her language is so nice and good. And Oprah says that this is where she gained her self confidence and learned her talent in the field of communication. And Oprah believes that her grandmother influenced most of who she is today, although their names together did not go as smoothly as any young girl would have wanted it to. So, though she learned so many things, but she suffered a lot. So, they were very poor, and Oprah wore potato sacks cut into dresses because they didn't have any money with which to buy clothes. So, this potato bag, so they used to cut it and make a frock like thing, and such clothes she used to wear. Her grandmother was strict and supportive despite of the circumstances. She was also abusive. Okay, so she used to make her suffer and work like anything. When she was dissatisfied in any way, Oprah would receive a beating from her. Okay, so she was beaten always and frequently for doing every work. And at 6, this is see at such a small age. At 6, Oprah went to live with her mother, and whose presence was barely felt. She was always so busy with long hours of working that during the few hours that mother and daughter were together, she was either too tired to care about her or was furious with her. Because she is getting tired, naturally, they will shout and they will abuse. Okay, Oprah's experience of sexual abuse is not a secreted fact. She came out in her talk shows with the revelation of being molested and abused was one of the more frequent topics of discussion. She has mentioned being sexually assaulted by a cousin, an uncle, and a family friend on different occasions. Her family was not too happy when she informed them later on, and they insisted the allegations were false. At 14, so all this happened at before 14. At 14, Oprah brought a child into the world. She became pregnant at 14 and she brought a child into the world. But her son, however, died shortly after birth because of the poor conditions. And she went to a local high school where again poverty got into their way. And she was bullied and psychologically abused even more. The difficult times led her to steal from her mother. They would get into constant bickering and quarrels, and as a result, Oprah turned to men as an outlet. She dated older men who were also abusive in one way or another. Just for survival, you see how she suffered. The exploitation was too much for young Oprah and too much trouble for her mother. Thus, she was sent away to live with the man whom they believed was her father, and Vernon Winfrey. Okay, her mother was not sure, but he took Oprah in and gave her a new life, one that had a future. And Vernon embedded in Oprah the importance of fundamental education. He got her into a decent school where she began to blossom. She started receiving academic awards and began befriending the popular kids in school. Her career started here, and when she got a part time job at the local radio news station, she had the job until she went to college, and things further flourished thereafter. She was given longer hours on the radio and was later hired to anchor local television news. Her exemplary performance raised the audience ratings in each show she participated in, and eventually she was hired to co host a talk show and eventually to present her own show. The Oprah Winfrey Show, based in Chicago, changed the image of daily talk shows, and Oprah directed the show towards more relevant topics within the community. Celebrity gossip was no longer the main focus of the show. Current news and issues, diseases and other implications, and human rights stories were the most common topics. The show also prided itself in humanizing politicians, actors and actresses, musicians, superstars, and other celebrities. People used to wait for her to have a show with her so that they will become popular because of Oprah Winfrey show. If they participated in the show, they become popular. Like that, she got the name. There were moments of concern, heaps of laughter, and sometimes tears. There were even big confessions made on the show. The show was such a success that in all of America and even around the world, Oprah Winfrey became a household name. Her show lasted more than 2 decades, earning millions of dollars for the star. She branched out into production and created her own production studio and ventured into other media related acquisitions. Today, she is said to be worth close to $3 billion, a current contender in any accrediting body's most influential people list, an advocate for human rights and a fighter against human poverty. And her life was defined by the choices she made. This is evidenced by comparing the life she has had to that of her siblings. Benita's second daughter, Oprah's half sister Patricia, died in 2003 as a result of cocaine addiction. And Benita's youngest child, a boy named Jeffrey, died in 1989 because of complications from AIDS. All were born underprivileged in mostly the same circumstances, but only Oprah was able to choose the right path. And she channeled her life's challenges into positive perspective. For example, she has stated that her grandmother gave her the self confidence and belief and she had in herself, although at the same time her grandmother was abusive and she chose to focus on the good. The trials life threw at her were channeled into positive energy too and not towards further promiscuity. For every fastball thrown at her, Oprah chose to fight for herself rather than fall victim to circumstances. Furthermore, she has used her difficult upbringing as a means to understand the abuse going on around the world and even find ways to help those who are mistreated. And she reached the peak of her career. She advocated respect for women, the LGBT community, and especially children's causes. She created a committee under her supervision to be able to give help, be it monetary or in kind, to those who need it most. She has given hundreds of scholarships and she has even built schools for the less fortunate in Africa. Admittedly, Oprah did fall into some abusive relationships, took prohibited drugs, and had her time with promiscuity. These were mistakes she made, but eventually she got out of all of them. She did not dwell on those circumstances, nor did she let the challenges dictate the direction of her life. And she chose to be who she is now, and her personal choice to get out of the rut rewarded by her immensely. Okay, that is the great life of Oprah Winfrey. And she says, the more thankful became, the more my bounty increased. That's because, for sure, what you focus on expands. When you focus on goodness in life, you create more of it. And she says, you are responsible for your life. You can't keep blaming somebody else for your dysfunction. Life is really about moving on. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, actually, assignment one, two, and three, and I did not. So, I could not upload on the drive also. I have sent on the mail before date of submission. Sir.
Okay. Okay. If I get the mail, no problem. No.
Yes, sir. First, second, and third assignment I sent to you, sir, through mail.
Okay. Okay, Arvind. No.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
No.